Most traders think that inconsistency comes from their trading strategy. They lose a few trades and suddenly they're switching indicators, testing a new system, trying to trade like this other person on social media. But what if I told you guys, your inconsistency has absolutely nothing to do with your trading strategy and everything to do with your identity and the daily systems. Because I promise you guys, it's not typically your entries that are the problem. It's how you show up to the charts. It's, the invisible stuff behind the scenes that 95% of traders never talk about, let alone even actually build. So in this video, I'm breaking down the real reason as to why you're actually inconsistent. And not only that, more importantly, how to actually fix it. And not with more screen time, but with less noise, more structure, and a shift in identity. Let's get right in. And let's just be completely real and honest with each other. Most traders say they want to be consistent, but their behavior literally looks something like this. You jump into trades without a clear plan. You size up after one loss just to make it back. You start revenge trading. You ignore your stop losses, and you constantly chase every single candle in the markets like it's one trade that will change your life. Sound familiar? And here's the trap. We blame our strategy, when in reality, the problem isn't your system. It's that your identity, who you are, and how you behave does not align with someone who actually trades consistently profitable. And you guys tell yourselves that you want to be a professional trader, but your habits just look like an absolute degenerate gambler, and you know it as well. And that creates that internal friction, and this is why you go round and round and round in circles. And the moment you get emotional, boom, you blow the whole entire session and progress. So let me ask you guys this. If you were sitting at a professional trading desk, with millions on the line, a risk manager behind you, and your entire career at stake, would you take that revenge trade? Would you chase that one candle? Would you enter without a trading plan? Of course not. Of course you wouldn't. So what if you finally just started acting like that trader now? Because action builds belief. You don't, wake up, become consistent, and then, start acting like a professional. It doesn't make any sense. You start acting like one now. And over time, you will eventually become that person of you and that trader that you can become. But you have to put these beliefs in place now. Even when I was inconsistent, I would always show up and act like a professional trader, even if it wasn't my full-time profession yet. I knew I had to follow these habits to eventually make them come true. And that is literally exactly how I went from blowing funded accounts years ago to now building a 7-figure funded track record, actually trading full time. I didn't just, try and improve my technicals and improve my strategy. I rebuilt my whole entire identity. So here's the part that nobody sees. The habits that happen before the trade even goes live into the markets. And every single morning, I'll ask myself, how am I feeling today? What emotions might show up today? What does a successful day look like? And even if, I have 0 trades for that day. And this is what grounds me. No emotions equals no chaos. So that's the first thing, the pre-market audit. Then number 2, trade plan clarity. I review my top 3 rules, I set my alerts, and I remind myself, no plan, no trade. And I know my exact entry and stop before I even touch that button. And number 3 is session rules. It's very, very important. These have absolutely saved my ass every single time. So max 2 trades a day, only take setups from my actual written proven plan. And if I feel emotional, that's okay, but I step away before I start acting on that emotion. And then number 4 is a post-session review. At the end of the day, did I stay aligned with my identity? What would I maybe improve tomorrow? And did any red flags show up for that trading session? And sometimes, even when I don't feel disciplined, my system always is. And the framework that I've just given you guys is what shows up for me every single day. And that's how you guys stay consistent during the slow weeks, during the drawdown weeks, and even, the stress of life. Now, let me show you guys some real examples from the Traders Club, because this isn't just me. So one of my students literally messaged me last week saying, bro, I stopped over trading. I just followed the 2 trade max rule from the checklist, and suddenly I'm green 4 out of 5 weeks. which is absolutely amazing. Another said, I realized I wasn't inconsistent because of the system. I was inconsistent because of myself, and I wasn't aware of these things. Now that right there is absolutely amazing to hear. And these are people who have literally been stuck for years, and it flipped, not because they needed better indicators or some sort of secret strategy that doesn't exist, but because they finally started treating trading like a business, not a casino. So if you're watching this thinking, damn, that's me, good, I want it to be, this is your wake-up call. Consistency is not a mastery, and it's not luck, and it sure as hell isn't about grinding harder for the most part. It's about identity, it's about structure, and showing up like the trader that you say you actually want to be. And if you guys need help building that, I've built a whole entire trading psychology masterclass inside the private mentorship. And this is no fluff, no hype, just real systems that actually got me here. And even if you don't worry. Take the framework that I have just given you and actually start implementing it. And I promise you guys, truly watch what can actually happen in, just 30 days of actually implementing this. Get your mind right, build the systems, and I'll see you guys live next week on stream, where we'll trade live together and absolutely crush the psychology and the markets. I'll see you guys there.